Hello, my name is Mitch Green, and my two words are longing and fulfilled. I grew up in a Catholic household. We go to church every Sunday. I was involved in a lot of youth group stuff. I just kind of went to it. I knew what God was, but I didn't really make any connections or feel anything about Him. My parents would try to make God important in my life. We would pray every night together. I honestly just probably enjoyed the time with my parents, to be honest. And they would ask me what I thought in church today. But I really wouldn't have very many opinions because I'd be uncomfortable with it. And my family also had the Green family prayer, the last line I really enjoy, which is, "One last thing, Lord, let us not forget to laugh." I've always enjoyed that. So even with my parents helping me try to bear my faith, I just wasn't connecting with it. I really didn't want to go. And besides, football was on during the same time. In high school, church became less meaningful to me. I would become extremely uncomfortable talking and thinking about God. Like, imagine outgoing, personable Mitch Green being like so uncomfortable that I'd be sometimes even like socially awkward just thinking about God. That's how bad it was. And then to college my freshman year, not being with my parents and their good influences about my faith, I didn't really go to church very much. I didn't feel the need to, or I didn't really want to, and I didn't really want to walk over there. So I just put God away and anything that had to do with God away, and just went on with life, I guess. The longing for something great has always been a part of my life. In high school it was there, but I was trying to fill with my outgoing personality and meeting as much people as I can and being as involved as I can. So in college I would do the same thing. I still had the longing for something great, but the meeting people was cranked up a notch being such a huge campus. I met so many people during my first time here. But I felt like no matter how many people I met, I just did not fulfill my longing for something greater. I wanted to do more, and I guess I kind of took it, I guess I had a crazed ambition. Like, I just wanted to be something special, and I wanted something more in my life. So I got involved right away and dove into so many things, hoping that my longing would be fulfilled. And even in a 3-week span during my freshman year of college, I became a brother of Lambda Chi. I emceed the Greek Week Variety Show in front of about 900 people, and then became the president of the Residence Hall Association, which is one of the largest organizations on campus, all during my freshman year. And I still was longing for something more. And I was thinking to myself, this is ridiculous. I've done so much with my life, and I still want more. Over the year, I went to church for the first time when I came home. It felt good. I really didn't know why it felt good. It just felt good. So when I came back to college after that nice break at home, I went to church a few more times. I felt good, but I didn't really pursue anything with God. I just kind of went because it felt good. And it was a lot, managing to trek over from Johnson all the way to the Newman Center, so that meant a lot. And I even attended a 3-hour Easter visual service, and I just loved every minute of it. It was awesome, and I felt so great. But sadly, I did not pursue anything with God further. I still pushed Him aside. Even when He was trying to show me that I needed Him, I just still pushed Him aside. So my longing would turn into emptiness sometimes, and so I turned toward success to hopefully fill that longing. So at the beginning of sophomore year, I'll get these moments of just pure joy, like out of the blue randomly moments, and I would just feel so good about myself, and for the split second the longing I've had for so long would go away. And like, I would see either a figure, sometimes it was myself, sometimes I couldn't tell, usually standing with my arms up, like looking up the sky, and just like a white glow around me, and just cheering. Or sometimes I couldn't tell what it was, but it was just a moment of pure joy, and I didn't really know what that meant. I was kind of confused by it, but I just kept going with it. I started to watch these motivational videos every day. I get further consumed with being successful, and after long nights of studying at Bracken, I would just stare at the bell tower like at 2:30 a.m. just wondering, like, what what am I longing for? What else can I do with my life? I've done so much. I know so many people, and yet I still feel like there's something more for me. At the same time, all that was happening, Isaac started to take me to church and Crew. I didn't know much about Crew, but I did love the people in Crew. They had a special joy to them, and I really wondered what that was. And Isaac started taking me to church, and the more and more I went to Crew and church, I started to feel this connection with something. I don't really know what it was, but I did feel anything. I didn't really say that I felt it, but maybe Isaac could tell. And then one day in Union Chapel, they were talking about having a relationship with Jesus and going on the beaten path. Now this related to me because I've always wanted to be something special. I never really wanted to be like a normal person. I've always wanted to be a special person. And so the longing for this path made sense for me. So the next week, after raising my hand at church, I was at Club Bracken, as it's called these days, working on an important homework assignment, and I felt this real pull for God that night. I couldn't really explain it, and I was texting Isaac back and forth about my feelings of longing, and I think God could have been the answer. I didn't really know. I was scared and afraid. I didn't really know what I was feeling inside of me, but there definitely was something pulling me that way. I just didn't know what to do. We got up to Isaac's room, and Sean was in there, and so we started talking, and they started sharing the gospel with me, and slowly but surely started to click. And then after like a long time of talking, I fully accepted Christ in my life. I was so nervous about it. I was excited. I didn't know what was going to happen, and then I led the last prayer after we left, and I just felt so happy and confused. I didn't know really what was going to happen. I think a few weeks passed, we went to discipleship, and I started to grow and feel more comfortable with God and start to feel happier. But I guess the true connection hasn't really happened yet. I understood it, I was happy, but I didn't really feel something truly happen. And then over fall retreat, we had this hour of Jesus time, and so I went so far out there. I mean, you literally couldn't go any further than I was. I was all alone, and I just poured everything out, like everything that I wanted to say, and it just felt so great and relieved, and I started to feel a connection. And then the next Monday after fall retreat, I saw like the world in the totally different view. Like I wasn't focused on like the earth, I was focused like on stuff above, and it was a really weird feeling. And literally the only people I saw that day were Crew people. That's really strange because I normally see everyone, but literally the only people I saw that day was Crew people. And I just felt so happy and good that I was finally understanding and finally accepting God into my life. The only thing that's going to solve my longing is Jesus, and He totally has. I haven't had any weird moments of pure joy and then filled with emptiness. I haven't stared at the bell tower after long nights of studying, longing what am I going to do more. I just feel like happier, more joyful. Like I feel fulfilled with my life, and I feel like I'm doing enough, and God's going to help me be that way. So I was longing, and now I'm fulfilled. Alright.